Pauval Catholic Quiz Channel. Hello dear viewers.
Welcome to Pauval Catholic Quiz Channel. How vast are you in the Catholic faith or in affairs concerning the Catholic Church? The questions in this video will test your knowledge of Catholicism and bring to light some hidden things you take for granted or may not know. The questions below will test you in church history. You have 10 seconds to attempt each question. At the end of the video, do tell us in the comment below how many questions you were able to attempt correctly. If you are excited, let's dive straight to the questions. 1. Who was the first major reformer to break from the Catholic Church? A. King Henry VIII. B. Thomas Cranmer. C. Martin Luther. D. Philip Melanchthon. The correct answer is C. Martin Luther. Among many church reformers, Martin Luther was the first to challenge and cause a major split from the Catholic Church. His actions in 1517 are widely considered the catalyst that fractured Western Christendom. He is founding father of the Lutheran denomination. 2. Which German reformer initiated the Protestant Reformation? A. John Calvin. B. Martin Luther. C. King Henry VIII. D. Thomas Cranmer. The correct answer is B. Martin Luther. Martin Luther, an Augustinian monk and professor of theology at the University of Wittenberg, initiated the Protestant Reformation. He posted his famous 95 Theses on the October 31st, 1517 on the door of the castle church of Wittenberg. These theses showed his disagreements with the church. 3. What was called the meeting in which Luther was asked to recant his teachings before his excommunication? A. The Diet of Worms. B. The Peace of Westphalia. C. The Golden Treaty. D. The Great Peace. The correct answer is A. The Diet of Worms. The Diet of Worms of 1521 was an assembly meeting of the Holy Roman Empire called by Emperor Charles V in the city of Worms in Germany. Martin Luther was summoned to the Diet in order to renounce or reaffirm his views. He was excommunicated by Pope Leo X through the papal bull De Set Romanum Pontificum, following his refusal to recant his writings. 4. What led King Henry VIII to break ties with Rome, leading to the English Reformation? A. Land dispute. B. Political power. C. Annulment of marriage. D. Idolatry. The correct answer is C. Annulment of marriage. King Henry VIII broke ties with Rome primarily because Pope Clement VII refused to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon, who did not produce a male heir. He later took laws into his hands by marrying Anne Boleyn. 5. What year did King Henry VIII declare himself the head of the church in England? A. 1534. B. 1538. C. 1540. D. 1545. The correct answer is A. 1534. King Henry VIII declared himself head of the Church of England in 1534. By this, he formally broke away from papal authority. This was solidified in January 1535. 6. Through what law was King Henry VIII made the head of the Church in England? A. The law of land. B. The Edict of Negotiations. C. The Act of Supremacy. D. The Act of Power. The correct answer is C. The Act of Supremacy. The Act of Supremacy in 1534 was an English law declaring King Henry VIII the supreme head of the Church in England, breaking ties with papal authority and paving a way for the English Reformation. From that moment, the monarchs of England would be the ultimate religious authority. Not the Pope. All citizens were to take an oath of supremacy to prove their loyalty to the crown. 7. What was the major charge for English citizens or officials who refused the oath of supremacy? A. High treason. B. Terrorism. C. Insurrection. D. Military offense. The correct answer is A. High treason. The refusal to take the oath of supremacy or to actively deny the king's title as supreme head of the Church of England was viewed as high treason, which was punishable by death. Some notable personalities suffered this cruel fate. 8. Two notable saints were martyred during the English Reformation for refusing the oath of supremacy. Who were they? A. Saint Cecilia and Saint Joan of Arc. B. Saint Simon Stock and Saint Patrick. C. Saint Martin of Tours and Saint Catherine Labour. D. Saint John Fisher and Saint Thomas More. The correct answer is D. Saint John Fisher and Saint Thomas More. Saints John Fisher and Thomas More were both executed in 1535 for their refusal to acknowledge and recognize King Henry VIII as the supreme head of the Church of England. These men were very close to King Henry VIII. John Fisher, a bishop and theologian, was once his tutor, and Thomas More, an esteemed lawyer, was his very close friend. Both were great defenders of the Catholic faith. 9. Who annulled the marriage between Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon after the Pope's refusal? A. Thomas Cromwell. B. Archbishop Thomas Cranmer. C. Archbishop Lawson Smith. D. Archbishop Stan Macaulay. The correct answer is B. Archbishop Thomas Cranmer, after Pope Clement VII's refusal to annul King Henry VIII's marriage to Catherine of Aragon. Archbishop Thomas Cranmer, acting against the Church, declared the marriage null and void in a special court in May 1533. This went on to fracture the relationship between England and the papacy. 10. Which Pope excommunicated King Henry VIII? A. Pope Paul III. B. Pope Urban VI. C. Pope Leo XIII. D. Pope John XXIII. The correct answer is A. Pope Paul III. Pope Paul III officially excommunicated King Henry VIII on December 17, 1538, after years of conflict stemming from marital annulment. T. 11. What happened to Queen Anne Boleyn, whom King Henry VIII took after Catherine? A. He divorced her. B. She ran away. C. She took ill and died. D. She was executed by beheading. The correct answer is D. She was executed by beheading. Queen Anne Boleyn was executed by beheading on May 19, 1536, after being imprisoned in the Tower of London and convicted of treason, adultery and incest charges, said to have been fabricated by King Henry VIII to allow him take another lady. 12. King Henry VIII's problem with the papacy. birthed the Christian denomination known as A. The Watchtower Society. B. Seventh-day Adventist. C. The Anglican Communion. D. The Methodist Church. The correct answer is C. Anglican Communion. The Church of England can also be called. The Anglican Communion, the particular Church of England, is the original source from which the worldwide Anglican Communion evolved. 13. What invention was crucial for the rapid spread of Reformation ideas across Europe? A. Aeroplane. B. Telephone. C. Paper. D. Printing press. The correct answer is D. Printing press. The printing press invented by Johannes Gutenberg around 1440 was a revolutionary force in the Protestant Reformation, facilitating quick and rapid dissemination of reformist ideas. It empowered individuals who began to have access to religious texts as never before. 14. What was the name of the Catholic Church's own movement of internal reform in direct response to the Protestant movements? A. Ultimate Reformation. B. The Counter-Reformation. C. The Great Renewal. D. The Hall of the Informed. The correct answer is B. The Counter-Reformation. The Counter-Reformation, also known as the Catholic Revival, was the period of Catholic resurgence. It was initiated as a response or similar insight as the Protestant Reformation. The Counter-Reformation promoted Catholic education and missionary work. 15. Whom among the following transitioned from a Catholic background into a leading role in the Protestant Reformation? A. Charles Russell. B. Scott Hahn. C. John Calvin. D. Paul Whitcomb. The correct answer is C. John Calvin. John Calvin was born and raised a Catholic. He was by profession a lawyer. He abandoned Catholicism and embraced what was called a Reformed theology. He, like Luther and some others, are seen as central figures in the Protestant Reformation. We have come to the end of this video. If you find this video helpful and educating, please like, share, subscribe, and click on the notification bell below to know when the next video will be uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you in other videos.